All right, welcome to another day of Midnight Stag. Since we're in August, and here's the aftershave, alcohol-based aftershave. Here's the soap, Chiseled Face, made by Grumatorium, who also makes Tiki Bar, I believe, and Stubble Buster. Both good lines as well. Stubble Buster, a little bit, the soaps are a little bit light in scent, and so if you have sensitive skin or don't like strong scents, that's a great line to go with. It's got good performance as well as low cost for those soaps. The aftershaves are beefed up and more normal in the terms of the scent strength, but the soaps are very light. All right, get that soap ready. The Nacet we'll be using today, Gillette Nacet blade. And here's my little grouping there with 7 on it. So that's 197 is the count before today's shave. And here's the B2 brush from Zenith. Been soaking for a few minutes. That's all it needs. And then my open comb stainless steel. I was going to say titanium because it's got a T right there, but T for timeless. And this is the 68 gap. The open comb seems to be aggressive enough and the right geometry to curve the blade to make this really old blade still perform really well for me without causing irritation or tugging to any negative extent. All right, so let's splash pre-wash here. And that's pretty much all the prep I do. It works out for me. Very convenient, and I'm glad about that. All right, so we're going to load the soap. 7-second load for my usual yeah, we'll do 7 seconds again. Get most of the water out of the brush, or a lot of the water out of the brush. And I'm going to maybe run it a little drier today just for grins and see what happens. Yep. All right. So 7 seconds. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's 7. Put it in my lather bowl. Link to this design for the 3D printing of this bowl if you have access to a 3D printer. It's in the description of the video. Now with this soap, it doesn't mind having kind of all of its water up front. So I'm going to take my syringe here that is capped out at 2 teaspoons. Just put it all in. And now we're going to see if that's enough water this time. Usually that looks a little thick to me, but this is a soap that likes to be lathered a little drier than I usually like to have mine. A little bit less elastic. I can take it to that extent to where it stretches and all that, but then it's just way too thin by the time it gets to my face. So now basically we're just working to combine the water I just added with the soap, the water that's in the brush still. Also work that into the soap as well, just kind of combine everything. It'll start out being more bubbly, and then it'll grow thicker, and the bubbles will grow smaller as you work them out. A lot of people shave with a lather that I believe is probably too dry, and it may get you an okay shave, may even get you a nice shave, and that's fine. That's what matters. But I think a lot of people would do well to maybe put a little bit more water in their lather and experience the benefits. And this is thickening up nicely. Nice creamy texture, creamy appearance. Go a little bit more. Pull it all down to the bottom. Pick it up and look at it. Hey, look at that. That's got some elasticity to it. I think we're there. Let's do that. And then a pre-splash on the face again. Just to kind of get it ready and help the lather out. Now, if you've got a lather that you know is too wet, you may want to avoid what I just did, to then have your face suck a little bit of the lather out of the water out of the lather. Nice soft brush. Yet a nice massage feel to it, definitely. Not the most of the ends have split. You know, that's the way boars work. When you start off, sometimes they are stiff as brooms. But number one, you have to soak them for at least 3 or 4 minutes. And number two, you use them up until the tips start to split, and that's when you'll start to see what kind of softness they're going to offer you. Now switch to the painting. I think that'll work. Sometimes with this stage, what I just did, you may want to work it a little bit more into your skin. Get that soap to attach to your skin in that protective way so that you get good slickness and protection from the blade as it moves across your skin. So now we can look at the blade, make sure that we are using the Nacet as prescribed. Got the little X up there that shows it's the same one, or half an X. There we go. A little tugging, but you get used to it because it's not uncomfortable. You know, it's more akin to maybe blade feel or something like that. No, I definitely intend to, next time I use a Nacet, I'm not going to take it this far. This is just probably a one-time only thing for this blade. I'm probably going to see how far I can take another blade, like maybe a feather or a Gillette Silver Blue. Those are a couple of my other ones that I enjoy. But once I find out how far I can take the Nacet and still get comfortable shaves, I don't see the need to do that again, because it does mean time spent away from my other razors. Once I get past the 100 mark or so, there's only 1 or 2 razors that put it at the right geometry for the blade to still work really well. And rinse. A little half rinse there, not a full one, don't need it. Load up the brush. Gonna have plenty of lather. Looks like I'm gonna have maybe 2 extra passes. Imagine that. Just 7 seconds of loading. Now that same 7 seconds, if I was face lathering, that put me at a 3rd pass of barely enough lather to get the job done. So it looks like the bowl lathering is more economical in terms of being able to use less soap per shave. If you want to do that, you'll get better lathers throughout your entire shave than face lathering. At least that's what this has taught me the last week or 2. And now with that first pass gone, this feels great. Nice smooth shaves here. And it's still like yesterday, probably today. I could walk away after the second pass. And rinse. All right, reloaded the brush. Well, that amount of water sure worked for me today. Now just a quick pass just to try to polish off any hairs that are still around. Nice glide as usual. This lather usually, no matter what I do, still has some, let's see, little bubbles in it that just don't go away. It never turns truly creamy, but it still does its job really well. Very slick. And that's really what matters. Not the appearance of the lather. And there we go. We're done. Oh, let's splash a little the aftershave. Let me rinse my face first. And here we go. At least 1 pass of lather here, maybe 2 if you really pushed it. I did lose 1 hair from the brush. It's been used a lot, so I'll have to watch out that. So the result today, pretty nice. I don't think I can see any length on any of the hairs right here, and that is really good for me. Those hairs, I don't know, they just lay down maybe so close to the skin. I'm not quite sure. I can't go against the grain, which would be this direction here, kind of a diagonal upwards a little bit, because they just, I don't know, maybe it lifts up the skin, gives me cuts and irritation and all that stuff. Yeah, I just used 2 teaspoons of water for this time, and it ended up to be just fine. Now this lather here has been sitting. I had to go talk to somebody, and so you can see the bubbles have really started to come out a little bit more, but we're talking half an hour of stability, and this is the very end of the lather when it's all used up and stuff. And I already dumped a big wad into the sink, so this is just the last remaining lather. So that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And splash a little bit of water on my face. Ooh, nice smooth feel today. I guess it's as usual. I just don't notice, And we'll do the splash. This is a strong splash that I imagine most people find kind of polarizing. And my wife can smell it on me 20 hours later after I have put it on. And I probably enjoy it maybe for an hour, maybe less, but I guess you just go blind to it. And that's kind of standard. That's typical. Anything else we need to do? Wow, yeah, so 198, I believe I just did. Yep. Use number 198, so just 2 more. And today is the 28th of August, is that right? Yeah. Okay, so I'll hit 200 August 30th, and be pretty wild. We'll continue using that blade, though, until I complete my 31 shaves of Midnight Stag, which will be on September 4th, because I started a little bit late. So we will rack a few more uses onto the blade after we hit that 200 mark. So here's that brush after it's been dropped on a towel. Still pretty much looking the same, I think. Medium backbone does the job well, in my opinion. So we're in an age where guys are often pitching their blades after 3 uses, and they may need to do that, you know, because of their hair density or thickness or something like that. They may just need to do that. So I'm not saying that's always a bad thing, but if I can get 198 shaves out of a blade, then that just proves that they're sharp a lot longer than a lot of people give them credit for. And this is not some kind of half shave. This is just as good as I usually get with a good sharp young blade. And you know, I attribute it to really wet lathers, because they provide that protection and slickness that I believe also helps that blade edge to last longer. And in many cases, this is not about money, because blades are pretty cheap, but it's about the smoothness, because once you pass that dozen or so uses, you get into this area of smoothness that you just don't get when you have that early edge on the blade, little burr on there. You wear that away with some uses, and then you've got this nice period where you can really enjoy a blade, maybe use some more aggressive razors than you're used to, and so there's some nice benefits to it. Plus, it's a little bit about cost, because there are some blades out there that are kind of expensive, and if you can use them, even if you just used them 20 times instead of 3, then all of a sudden cost goes out the window. And if it costs $30 for 100 of them, which is kind of high, then all of a sudden they're just much more reasonable when you look at blades you're using per shave and the cost per shave. By the time you do the math out, it reduces that price to something really, really nice. So that's another reason I do it. All right. Well, I got a great shave. I smell good. The soap now doesn't have as much of that gasoliney kind of smell, at least after the shave. Maybe I'm used to it. Maybe I'm blind to it. But I'm smelling the other notes, the woody, the leather. Those type of notes are really coming out there. So it's neat to see. All right. Well, just 2 more shaves until we hit the 200. It's pretty wild. All right. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You have a good day.